First up is developer. We're using 400 speed film, so we're going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Then we're gonna measure film developer, and if you're doing 2 rolls of film, you're gonna do 24 ounces, but if you're doing 1 roll of film, you're going to do 12 ounces. Every chemical will be the same amount measured. When we start the timer, every time it hits 0, we're going to agitate, then we'll stop, agitate, stop until 5 minutes is up. You're now going to take your red or blue cap off and go ahead and pour in the developer. I will now start the timer and we'll agitate. Right, left, upside down, tap. Right, left, upside down, tap. Stop. So we're supposed to stop at 55. I won't get you in, but make sure you hold the top when you do it. Agitate. Sorry. It should look like this, right, left, upside down, tap. So gentle tapping, make sure you don't bang too hard or it's gonna leak, and a little leaking is normal. So when it hits the 0, we'll agitate 1 last time, and then we're going to dump it in the sink. Step 2 is stop water, so we're gonna measure the same amount of ounces, 12 ounces for 1 roll, 24 for 2, and we're gonna agitate continuously for 1 minute. So step 2, we're measuring 24 ounces of water from the sink. So the developer turned the latent image into a picture because it converted this exposed silver halide crystals to metallic silver. The stop water is going to stop the action of the developer. So we're going to set the timer for 1 minute and agitate continuously for the whole minute. Once the timer is up, we're going to go ahead and dump the stop out into the sink. The next step is the fixer. So this removes the unused silver crystals, clearing the film, making it no longer sensitive to light. We're going to set this timer for 4 minutes, and we're going to make sure that wherever bottle we got it from, we're going to pour it back there, because this is the only step that we will recycle. This is the strongest chemical that we use. It does smell like vinegar and can sometimes stain your clothes, so be very careful. So we'll agitate, stop, and we'll agitate again every time it hits 30, stop, agitate, stop, until our 4 minutes are up. So our 4 minutes are up, so we're recycling it back into the container. Step 4, we're gonna rinse the film for 30 seconds with cold tap water. So we'll just turn it on and count to 30 seconds on your own. Once the 30 seconds is up, we're just gonna dump it out. We're now gonna measure for hypoclear. This speeds the removal of the fixer and reduces our wash time. Between each chemical step, we're gonna make sure that we're rinsing our measuring cups while we're doing that. So here is hypoclear. Again, we're gonna measure the same amount that we've been doing, 12 ounces for 1 roll, 24 for 2 rolls. We're gonna set the timer for 2 minutes and we're gonna pour it in. So then we'll agitate the first 5. Stop. So what agitation does is it makes sure that there's fresh chemical moving around and that air bubbles do not settle, that would later create spots on your film. Once our 2 minutes is up, we're dumping out the hypoclear. Step 6 is the wash. So at this point, we can take our reels out and place it in a tray filled with cold running water for 5 to 7 minutes. So we're gonna take it out. And then we're gonna place it. We just wanna make sure that it's in like a place you're gonna remember because they all look the same, okay? Sometimes if it's in, we have another sink in the opposite room. There's 3 faucets and you might have 2. You can just turn it on like that for 5 to 7 minutes. Or we'll have like 10 here, but they all look the same. So it's very important where, like you remember where it is. Again, we're doing the final wash for 5 to 7 minutes. For the last step is photo flow. So this acts like jet dry, so we don't get any water spots. So we're gonna fill the tank if you have 2 rolls of film, or fill it halfway if you have 1 roll of film. It is normal for it to look bubbly. We're gonna put it in and we're gonna swish for 30 seconds. So you'll count that for 30 seconds and we'll do it over the sink. Again, it's normal for it to look bubbly. We wanna make sure we do not rinse after we're done with this step. We'll then dump it out. This is a test one though, so I just used exposed film. So what you'll do is you'll pull it. But yours, you should see images, and we're gonna just use our fingers to squeegee 1 time down. Then you're gonna wipe the top. There should be no pictures here. So at the very end, either at the top or the bottom, there's no pictures, but you'll take a Sharpie and you'll write your initials and the period, and then you'll clip it up here. As you can see, this student has it, and then if I handle by the edges, you'll see these actually have pictures on them. You will then close the cabinet, and then we're gonna set the timer for 7 minutes, and then it'll dry for that amount of time. We just wanna make sure that all of the lids are on tight, and we're gonna rinse everything off and put it back on the shelf to dry.